We officially suck, Colts Nation. Welcome to the Colts Cast, everybody. We're here to talk about everything and anything Indianapolis Colts. My name is Eric Smith, co-host of the Colts Cast. Alongside me, as always, I have co-host Jamal Lawrence here.
I need to start muting my mic, man. I can't be messing with you. What's up, Colts Nation?
What's down, Colts Nation?
Yeah.
We are. The Colts fall 24-17 to the Titans at home. We're now 1-2-1 on the season. Very disappointing loss. 0-2-1 in the AFC South now. I mean, Jamal, I don't know where you want to start. So many penalties, so many turnovers, no aggressive play calling. I mean, where do we start? Where do we start?
I want to start with next week checking DraftKings to see what our odds are for winning the AFC South, because at the beginning of the season or during the summer, it was like minus 130. It was like a guarantee. And I was feeling so good.
It's got to be like plus 700 now.
I mean, we're the only team who hadn't done nothing. We've lost to 2 out of 3 teams in the AFC South. So that's what I want to start off with. But second off, in all seriousness, what I do want to start off with is let's get the positive out the way today, man. Let's talk about this. I want to start with the tight end group because they were looking good.
Yeah, I want to talk about the offense too. Let's talk about them.
All right, man. First off, shout out to Granson, Mo Alley Cox, and Jelani, man. They were really, that tight end core was looking clean. Everybody was good. I think the only drop pass that came out of their core was Granson, and it wasn't even his fault. It was a underthrown ball, and I think he actually caught it out of bounds. He didn't get both feet down. So really, that's the only one. But I mean, he was balling. He had a couple catches. Jelani looked like he was hungry for that third touchdown. He was trying his hardest to get in there. And then Mo, of course, he got the touchdown too. Both of Matt Ryan's touchdowns came to Mo Alley Cox today. So the tight end core was just eating. They were looking real good. And I mean, again, we're nowhere near where we need to be, but that was just so nice to see at least one core do what they're supposed to do. For the passing side, I can't speak on the run side because it was too hard to tell what was going on in that shit show with the offensive line, everything that was going on there. But passing-wise and catching-wise, tight end core is great.
Yeah, I think the tight end group has to be the spotlight of the day for our offense. I mean, we got Mo Alley Cox, Kylan Granson, Jelani Woods. All of our tight ends, they all showed their talent today. Mo Alley Cox, like you said, he had 2 touchdowns, led in receiving, 6 catches, 85 yards. Very strong after the catch. I underestimated Mo Alley Cox. He looked really good today. Colin Granson also made some great catches as well. And not only that, he's just a versatile player. He's good on our special teams as well. Jelani Woods. I don't know if you saw my tweet. I was ready to say if he broke all those tackles to get that touchdown, I was ready to say he needed to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He had 1 catch today, but it was huge for 33 yards. You know, I really thought he was going to score on that play because he was breaking tackles like he was an X-Men. I mean, pure mutant strength, what we saw. Shout out our tight end squad. They were highlighted as a weak spot by a lot of people like a week ago. So I like what I saw today. Jamal, I also really liked Alec Pierce. He was really that dude today.
Yeah.
4 catches, 80 yards on 6 targets. He made some crazy catches in this game.
Oh, yeah.
The one down the sideline was literally a replica of what happened last week. He's winning those one-on-ones. He made the adjustment on that deep ball throw from Matt Ryan because Matt Ryan underthrew the hell out of him. But he still made the catch. He's been sensational when given the chance. I really think week 1 was a fluke for him, man. I'm excited for this new weapon we have. I mean, honestly, I think a lot of our receivers were playing well. Michael Pittman, at least in the first half. I don't think he was targeted in the second half.
Yeah, I don't think he was.
Yeah, he should have had those touchdown grabs, but it's hard in the end zone working with so little of a space. I think one of them he could have, had his feet stepped in the end zone a little better. Paris Campbell sighting today.
Yeah, a couple for him. Yeah,
stepped up to the plate, 4 catches, 43 yards. Didn't get injured. I liked it.
Boy.
Naheem Hines wasn't really involved, but, I mean, shout out to our receiving group. Mike Strawn had a drop. I think he was only targeted once. Yeah, he wasn't great. But, yeah, what did you think about our wide receiver group?
I thought that, exactly what you just said. I don't have anything, big to add to that. They looked great when the Alec Pierce ball was phenomenal. Pittman Jr., he was looking good. I think my biggest gripe I have with, and this has nothing to do truly with the wide receiver core, but it's going back to what you said about Naheem. He didn't touch the ball barely. I think it was the third quarter when he got his first target. And it's just so frustrating and infuriating because just all season long, Frank Wright just talked about how they're going to utilize him. He's going to be a weapon. He's going to be a major part in the offense. Drafting in fantasy, blah, blah, blah. And dude has been irrelevant. And guess who drafted him in fantasy? Yep, this guy. Because Frank Wright said so.
Fell for the trap.
Boy, did I. I should have known that clown was going to be lying. Anyway, neither here nor there. But for real, though, it is very frustrating, though, because I know Naheem can play such a vital role for us. And we're just not even... we didn't even entertain him this entire game. So that'll be my biggest gripe with the wide receiving core. And again, that or the group, in which that's not really their fault. That's the play calling fault. And so it's the only negative thing I really have for them.
Look, we're going to talk about Matt Ryan again. Another game where Matt Ryan's game log just looks pretty good on the surface. 27 for 37, 356 yards. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 109.8 passer rating. You sit there and you're like, oh, wow, Matt Ryan played pretty well. I mean, he gave it his all. And then you're a Colts fan and you watch the game and you know that's not true. He made some grave mistakes, man. He's up to 9 fumbles on the year. 9 fumbles. We're in week 4. He has 9 fumbles.
Bruh.
Jamal, he's on pace for 38 fumbles this year. That's crazy. Look, Matt Ryan gave us 2 turnovers as well. So 1 interception, 1 fumble loss. I will say he did have some nice drives. He was putting it together, especially in that second half in the third quarter. I mean, he was dealing and dishing. He was finding his open receivers. But really, it was the pass catchers who were doing most of the work because they were making great catches. They were getting yards after the catch. I'm happy to see our passing core, of course, like I said earlier, step up. But Matt Ryan, all he needed to do was just secure the ball, not make costly turnovers, things like that. I don't want to blame him for the interception, but he also has 5 on the year for that too. It's just, I mean, it sucks. It really does suck to see this because I thought Matt Ryan would be more secure with the ball, man. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I fully agree. It is super sus. I don't know what's going on. It sucks. And it makes me really want to just go back and watch last year and the year before that film in Atlanta to see. Because I know he wasn't having the fumbles, but I want to see if his play was this same way. Because I know that all we harped about, everyone, not just us, but everyone, was how he's finally getting the O-line. He's finally getting the weapons all the way around him. And we talked about the whole stat patent thing and all that stuff. But it's just weird to me that I feel like, I mean, he would have had to been playing at this level last year with Atlanta, or technically lower for us to even think that he was going to be elevated. So I really want to go back and watch some of the film from them because I just don't know. I don't understand where the miscommunication's coming in from, the fumbling. Don't know where it's coming from, the interceptions. I just feel like there's no rhythm, there's no groove. And it's not like it was a late like accusation for us getting him or picking him up from Atlanta. So I'm not entirely sure why there's just still so much disconnect now that we're in week 4 going into week 5, had all this offseason time, and they still are not on the same page. And that's not only with him and the O-line, but him and the receivers, because some of those passes, and maybe he was afraid he was going to put him in too tight of a window, so he didn't want to, risk throwing an interception. But many passes I saw today when I was at the game, he was throwing them 2-3 yards in front of the receiver or behind the receiver, kind of making it so they had to go get the ball as opposed to kind of putting it right into them. So it makes me wonder, is it route running? Maybe they're not on the same page with the route running, or he's just trying to play a little safer and a little more conservative. So if I put it out here in the corner, then maybe they can figure out a way to get to it. But I just think that some of these things are, from what we read and heard about him and what we've known for him in the past, are super uncharacteristic traits that he's showing right now. So it just bugs me a little bit with that.
Yeah, the communication issues, they were definitely evident today. Ryan Kelly, I think he had a botched snap as well. That was almost, I think that counted as a fumble. I'm not sure, but Matt Ryan, I think, fell on it. You had a play where everybody moved except Ryan Kelly.
Can't stand that. Doesn't make any sense. We all know the snap count.
I've never seen that. A false start. Everyone except the center.
I've seen it like 10 times. It's ridiculous.
It's got to be on the center on that, right? If Correct. Everybody else is on rhythm?
Correct. Yep.
So we're having some center issues. O-line, I felt, we haven't even got on the rushing game yet. But for pass blocking, it was better this game than other games. Yeah, I would say it got to near average. But yeah, let's just talk about the running game, because that's supposed to be our strong suit, right?
It is. And just before you go into that, I do want to just point out one small thing about pass protection. Promise I'm not going down any rabbit holes today. But it just bugged me how much. First off, I was glad to see Fries is in there. I guess we may have sent my boy Pennant to the gulag. He really may have been out of there, because Fries was in there a lot. I wasn't sure if I caught him at the beginning of the game or not. But second off,
yeah, he started.
He did. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Second off, it really was bugging me how Matt Pryor was picking up Matt Ryan after every hit he took, which told me that Matt Pryor's man is the person who got better to hit him, because there'll be zero reason for Pryor to be picking up Ryan. He shouldn't be right beside him every time he got hit. He literally
maybe he's just
a
good teammate, man.
Bro, no. It was just that was tough to watch, just because it was play after play after play after play, and I just watched Raymond on the sideline just chilling the entire time, and I was just like, man, at some point you got to do something, because Pryor legit. I don't know. Watching him today, I just felt like he was slow out, which he always is, but slow out of his stance. Just got beat. You're already in a 2-point stance, dog. If you know you're in a 2-point stance, you got to take a step back. I just watched him take one minor step back. His left foot would go back, but right foot wouldn't go anywhere, and he would just be stunned, and he would just get shook.
Talk to him.
And just get beat. And then he would turn around. Now his back is facing away from everybody else, because he's looking behind him, because he just got beat that badly. And guess what? Now he's here to pick up Matt Ryan. And it happened play after play after play after play. And I was just like, dog, at some point, man, when does it end? It doesn't end.
We knew Matt Pryor and Danny Pinner were going to be our weak spots, or just question marks on our offensive line. But geez, those question marks have turned into exclamation marks. We have issues. I'm glad they made that change from Danny Pinner to Will Fries. We saw enough of Danny Pinner last week, and I think we forced the hand of the coaching staff as fans to say, I don't think Danny Pinner's it. He's better in the backup role.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. Matt Pryor's had some. I've seen him do well at some points, but yeah, a lot of times he looks very slow. Very, very slow. But yeah, back to our rushing game.
Yeah, let's get into his rushing game.
it kind of ties in with our offensive line, man. Jonathan Taylor held to 42 yards on the ground on 20 carries. That's 2.1 yards per carry. Way below the league average, way below Jonathan Taylor's standard. It's really bad to see. There wasn't much room for him to run. He was getting swallowed up by the swarm of defenders on the Titans. Pretty sure every one of their linebackers had a tackle for a loss on us, but it was bad. It was bad. Who would have thought our run game would be holding us back? I didn't. I thought we had a top 5 rushing offense. The Titans had the worst run defense through 3 weeks, and then we played them week 4, and they look like the best run defense in the NFL. You can't make this up. You can't. Why can't we run block anymore, Jamal? Where's that explosive Jonathan Taylor from last year? I need answers.
I can tell you, at least the explosive Jonathan Taylor portion, dog, he doesn't trust him. I mean, he just doesn't. He's tiptoeing back there. I just think that he's afraid to kind of bounce through there and try his hardest because he doesn't know what's going to hit him next. And there's been no hole developments the entire, like every play I watched, there was no time for any kind of gap to develop. So he would have to, do his kind of bounce around, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's getting hit, which goes into the fourth quarter fumble he had, which I probably was for progression. I would have to see the replay again and again. They could have blown him down, but they didn't. Fumbled the ball first time.
No, it was a fumble.
Was it okay? I was gonna say
it was a clear fumble.
Okay.
I can't. We can't let Jonathan Taylor get a pass on that. Gotta secure the ball on 3rd and 1.
That's fine. They only showed the replay once, so I couldn't really tell what it was at the stadium. So I was looking at that, but then also, going back to JT and the O-line just not blocking, it scares me because I don't know if you saw, but he got injured.
He did.
Yeah. The ankle injury and Frank Wright. I think what pissed me off the most with this one today was, I know that we preach for him to give JT the ball, but the Titans were stacking the box so heavy, 7, 8, 9 guys in there, and Reich was still just pumping it right up the gut. If you know that's happening, they know run is coming, either A, play action, or B, abandon the run and pass, because this is the one game where when we were going for the passing, it was going. We're flowing. That's when you as a coach have to make your adjustment. You have to understand that, all right, now I'm going to abandon this and I'm going to just focus on the passing game, which is an easy adjustment to make. You would think that anyone on the offensive squad, whether that be the OC, the head coach, a position coach, someone would say, all right, we're firing on all cylinders with the passing game. Let's just worry about that. But they still kept trying to feed JT. And I just felt like it was detrimental to him because, for one, it's not a confidence booster whenever you're getting 2.3 yards a carry. 2, it's expected that you're going to run the ball when they're stacking the box like that. They're showing you right there. They know you're afraid of throwing them, so they're not even respecting you enough for that. And then 3, all you have to do to get out of that situation is just do a play action. You just do a play action and get out of there, and then you can dump the ball wherever you need to go. So the rushing game was terrible. Jonathan Taylor, he got injured, and I guess we'll see. I think they think it's a high ankle sprain. I'm going to see how he is for Thursday. I got to feel he probably won't play on Thursday.
Let's hope not, because it's a short week.
Yeah.
As much as I want JT out there, I want him healthy. Yeah. I don't want any setbacks. But, Mike Vrabel, he said at halftime, he said, we're going to stop the run. We did stop the run, and we're going to continue to stop the run. So, yeah. Not really any adjustments made there.
Yeah.
Run blocking was horrible. Mm-hmm. So, he was getting swallowed up.
What do you think about that defense?
Defense, they took a step back.
Yeah.
They definitely did. Turnovers, I believe, really costed us the game. But I feel like the defense wasn't great either. Derrick Henry ran all over us. 22 carries, 114 yards, 5.2 yards per carry. More than doubled Jonathan Taylor's efficiency. So very efficient day from Mr. Henry. Mm-hmm. Very inefficient day from the Colts run defense, who I mean, we said it last week. We had one of the better run defenses, like top 5 in the NFL through 3 weeks. But Derrick Henry is a different beast. So small sample size, can't always go off of it. So, Ryan Tannehill also, he completed 80% of his passes against us. I mean, he didn't even have to air it out against us. I think he only had like 132 yards passing.
Right.
But every time the offense stepped on the field, they had great field position. Why? Because we kept turning it over. So he didn't have anywhere to, pass it to. You only have to work with 20 yards. Then you got Derrick Henry. I mean, come on. It was easy for him. He just had to manage the game today, and he did. He did it well. We also have to accept our pass rush isn't great. It's not what we thought it was.
It's terrible.
No, I don't know if this is a coaching issue from Gus Bradley, because, he hates blitzing. I want to shout out Kwity Paye and Dayo Dangbo. They made some great plays. DeForest Buckner, Yannick Ngakoue, not the menaces I thought they were. I don't know, man. I'm just not seeing plays being made by these big dollar veterans. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. And I don't know why they're not producing, because they're top dogs at their position for a reason. And it's just, I don't know, man. Something about the whole atmosphere feels weird. Why I think that no one is playing to their potential. I think the brightest spot of hope was seeing Shaq Leonard today on the field, but we saw how quickly that changed. He had 4 tackles. He had two assists, or maybe it was 5 tackles. I think it was 2 assists and 3 solo, something like that. He started off great tempo, then boom, concussion. He's back out of the game. No, he's back. He's back out. And I definitely think that killed the morale a little bit. But my point is he was the only player who had that excitement. It is something weird going on where I think that all these players are elite players, are just there. They're going through the motion. And like you mentioned with Gus Bradley, he doesn't like the blitz, but again, his whole claim to fame was how he put so much pressure on the quarterbacks, and he can let anybody loose, and the defensive line will just be there. And that's just not the case. It's just not the case anywhere around. I just think that this entire organization is just taking steps back each week, and it's just showing that there's just no progression being made. We're only regressing each and every week, and I don't know what or why, but there's something I think that we're all missing.
Shaquille Leonard going out that was the worst part of the day. I mean, he was in there for just, some snaps, and then boom, he collides with Zaire Franklin. Zaire Franklin he had a good day today. I mean, he was all over the field, 15 tackles. Shout out Zaire Franklin, but it really sucks to see Leonard get a concussion. That linebacker group, though, outside of that, they were getting exploited in coverage in the early parts of the game. I mean, that's what you do. You wanna get those mismatches on the linebackers, but dang, they made it look easy. The Titans made it look easy. I have another question, Jamal.
What it do?
Is Kenny Moore a fraud?
Man, Jesus Christ.
Has he made a single play for us in 4 weeks after demanding a contract in the offseason?
Nope. And he got lucky that he didn't get burned again today on one pass. That ball was overthrown, because he would have got smoked. He was 5 yards behind the receiver. I don't even know. I think it was Treylon Burks. I think it was 5 yards behind him, and I mean, just the ball was overthrown. And I said, all right, well, thank Jesus it was overthrown, because he would have scored easily.
Yeah, look. Kenny Moore was mad that I don't want to be called nickelback. I'm a cornerback. I don't know, man. I just, for someone who's basically playing for a contract this year, he's not really playing, is he? I mean, I hate to say he's a fraud, but there's 4 weeks and we haven't seen, have we seen one big play from him? Nothing, man.
Nothing.
And they're throwing, they're calling him out. They want to throw to him. I didn't see many balls thrown Stephon Gilmore's way. And I think that defensive holding call on him was bullshit. They were both hand fighting. Should have been a no call. Isaiah Rodgers was out there. It was nice to see him out there. I think he made a good tackle for a loss on Derrick Henry. I like it because he wasn't getting much play time through the first 3 weeks. So good to see him out there. But yeah, our defense, our run defense especially, we were just letting Derrick Henry have it. And Derrick Henry actually should have had a better day, but he had 2 bad drops. I see why he didn't really get used much out the backfield as far as third down or pass catching purposes. He was getting scared. He heard them footsteps. Yeah. He was making some drops, but he's kind of scary in open space, one-on-one. It's hard to make that tackle on Derrick Henry. He's like 6'3", 250 or something. So he can be good if he would catch the ball as a pass catcher. But I got one more question.
What's up?
Why do we let Danico Autry go? He ate on us today, man. 2 sacks, 3 QB hits. I mean, he had a revenge game.
Yep.
I don't know, Jamal. It's just it looks really bad.
Mm-hmm.
This was what I didn't want to happen. Us losing divisional games to start the season.
5 and 7 weeks we have, and what we are now through 3 of them, where we've lost 2 and tied 1. We only have 2 left.
Where do we go from here?
Down. Man, listen. All right, because my one question for you, Eric, is why was it that the other week we went forward on fourth and 3, and when we were way down on our 4 or 5 yard line, or 4th and goal, I guess it was, and we were on the 3 yard line or whatever, instead of kicking an easy field goal and getting some free points. Then today, where it's now 4th and 13. 2 minutes left in the game. Our defense has not been holding them off the field the entire time. We go to try to kick a field goal, which we missed. That's, shocker. Story of Colts life. You miss a field goal. We missed a field goal. But as Frank Wright as the coach, did you really think that we were going to hit the field goal and then A, either get the onside kick, or B, give them the ball with 2 minutes left and get it back? Like, our defense hadn't held them the entire game. So why would we not just go ahead and go for the tie and don't worry about the 3 points, versus a few weeks ago where we want to go for to go up by 7 instead of taking the free 3 and we miss it. I just, that kind of like mentality is weird to me, where I don't understand why we want to go riverboat in one scenario, but then when we really need to be worried about trying to score to tie the game up to take it to OT, we're like, let's kick a field goal. We have 2 minutes left. I didn't really understand that. No,
yeah, you're absolutely right. At first I was like, okay, I guess we're going to try to take 3 points, but I looked at the score. It would have still been a 1-possession game. We still need a touchdown. We would have been down 4 if we made it, the field goal. So I guess he thought, 4th and 13, odds are against us. Let's try to get a field goal, but it doesn't do anything for us. So I think we had to go for the 4th and 13 there. Even though, it's 13 yards, but, we've been converting some long plays today. Our receivers, they're like averaging 15-plus yards per catch. I think it would have been better for us to just go for it then.
Yep, I agree. In the worst-case scenario, let's say we did, or not, I shouldn't say worst case, but let's say we caught the ball, pick up 10, 11 yards. We still may be short by 5 yards, but now they're getting the ball back pressured. And our defense still has 2 minutes, as opposed to us, again, kicking the field goal and still being a full possession game for us that didn't have to get the ball back. I don't know. Obviously, I know that it's easier to always critique than it is to worry about it in the heat of the moment. But I just found it very weird and interesting that he took that approach when logically that didn't make sense to me when we were in a position to tie the game and go to OT. But
yeah, if the score was different, I'd probably say, okay, let's try to get the field goal. But no, in that scenario, I think we just go for it. It's a long shot, but we've been converting some long passes today. Might as well take a chance, because obviously they got the ball back. They ran it with Henry. Then we got tricked. They did the play action, sealed the game.
It wasn't even a good fake handoff. It was terrible. As soon as I saw, he had the ball in his opposite hand. I said, Jesus Christ, they don't see it. And he just turned around and just dumped it right over. It was, anyway.
And speaking of our kicker, I don't fault Chase McLaughlin for missing that 51-yard attempt. Like, if he would have missed it, like not a horrible miss like he did, I would say, all right, well, it was 51 yards. You know, it's not an automatic field goal. He tried. But, I mean, it was off from the beginning, wide left. So I was pissed. I was furious that, I mean, we didn't even have a chance to make that field goal. So he does not need to get elevated. We need to go back on the kicker search again, because that was, I don't know. That was bad.
Yeah.
And their punter was crazy. Their special teams was great. That man, Ryan Stonehouse, has a cannon. He kept putting us back in. I mean, Matt Ryan and that offense had to work hard to get those yards. It would have been better if he wasn't punting it so hard, so far. So,
unlike Hawk, who was punting it out of bounds, couldn't believe that. But
yeah, Ryan Stonehouse he had a great punt every single punt. But is it time to panic? I think it is. 0-2-1 in our division is not promising. I mean, if we can't win our division, it's going to be really hard. It's going to be near impossible to make playoffs. I don't think we have a shot, Jamal.
No, God, no. It's over.
It's over?
Oh, it's over. It's over.
I was going to say there's like a 6% chance.
Here's what's going to happen. And I'll make this brief. Here's what's going to happen. Because Jim Irsay does not like losing, and that's all fine and dandy. So what's going to happen is this. They're going to bust their ass every single week, sprinkle on a couple of wins, maybe end the season with 7-8 wins if we're lucky, and then get a mediocre draft pick, like a draft spot, and then go pick up a mediocre player, and they're going to say everything's okay. When in actuality, and which we all know, every person in the Colts Nation knows, we need to go ahead and tank and pick up a franchise quarterback. CJ Stroud. But pick up a franchise quarterback, anybody, or franchise player, and it just bugs me so much, because I think that when I think of Jim Irsay, he wants success immediately. But just think about it like this, Eric. When they picked up Peyton, they had two or three terrible years where they won between 1 and 3 games, and you pick up Peyton, then you had 14 years of greatness. So bite the bullet for
okay.
No. I'm not saying that you're gonna go.
Peyton
find
Mannings
that.
do not grow on trees.
I know, but my point is this. Though, where I'm getting at is this. You have to. If we keep doing this thing of trying to win as many games as we can when it doesn't matter, and then we get pick number 24 in the draft, and then we decide, oh, well, instead of having 1 first-round draft pick, let's trade that away and get 3 second-round draft picks. And then we keep starting this stupid cycle of not getting anybody that's worth anything. Then you're going to continue to be 7-10, 8-9, etc., etc. Or you could suck like they did before they picked up Peyton, suck like they did before they got Andrew Luck, and hope that you can get someone who can elevate you to the next level, because mobility, for one, is the biggest thing we're after right now. We all know you have to have mobility at the quarterback position, and 2, you have to have a gunslinger too. And those are 2 things that we don't have with Matt Ryan. And the best way to get those players are either A, to trade the whole bank, trade everything you got in the draft, or play bad and you can get somebody like that. So, but I know Jim Irsay, I know he won't do that because he cares too much about living in the now. He'll be fine with not making playoffs because the record will be above 500 at the end of the season, which is not my cup of tea, but whatever.
I don't know if it will, but...
Well, potential. Sorry.
So Matt Ryan looked average mobile today because I saw him make some good plays out of the pocket when he was eluding pressure. Yeah. So I won't kill him today on mobility. I will say, I mean, I feel like we've had good draft picks in the future despite our, pick in the draft. It's usually not top 10 or something. Like, I guess our last first round pick was Kwity Paye. Can't really say he's a bust. I guess I think it's all only been second round picks besides him.
Yeah, because we make trades for these players, Carson Wentz, or as I said, Chris Ballard. He will trade away our good stuff to try to pick up clumps of like picks And I don't know, man.
Quentin Nelson was a hit.
Quentin Nelson was a yes, he was.
So really, we've been hitting on first round picks. I feel
like. But you got to have a first round pick.
That's true.
You got to have it.
I think in the last 5 drafts, it's probably just been those two.
Yeah.
And then we've had Rocky Sin, who we traded away for a second round pick. Michael Pittman, Jonathan Taylor. I don't know. We found some gems, but we probably would have found more gems with some first round picks. So, Carson Wentz. I think we traded one for DeForest Buckner, which DeForest Buckner was great last year. What?
Yeah.
We're not going to get into that, but
yeah. I just think that we need a quarterback, and there's not going to be. I mean, you can possibly find a decent quarterback in the second round. Obviously, you're not going to find no Tom Brady hanging around the 6th round anymore, etc. But I would just like to actually have an opportunity to get a valuable quarterback, and even if it's a late first rounder, or somebody who should go in the second round, but we want to jump the gun on them.
I think you will this year. You'll get that chance.
I hope so, because I cannot watch another year of who can do it. And again, it may be a situation where if we have so we have had Jacoby, Phillip, Carson, now Matt, all since Andrew Luck. If we go through a 5th quarterback, let's say for whatever reason we do manage to get one, and we go and Frank Reich's still there, and you get a 5th quarterback and they still haven't produced, I mean, at what point do you say that it's not the player? We dogged Carson Wentz all last year, and I know he didn't look too hot today. Diggs a nice little pick, but it's one of those things where it's just like, I just feel that it's more than the players that we're picking. It's more than the Matt Ryan, than the Carson Wentz, than the Phillip River, than the Jacoby, because Jacoby looks decent playing with the Browns. I'm not saying he's a god, but he looks okay playing with the Browns. He looks better playing with the Browns than what he did with the Dolphins or the Colts. I can guarantee you that much.
Damn, we've sunk really low if we're hoping for Jacoby Brissett to come back.
I'm just saying he's played better with the Browns.
Let's stop right now. So
I'm not saying I want him.
So you're saying you want to blow the whole thing up?
Yes.
Go for a top 5, top 10 pick,
or cheer me out. Just fire Frank Reich, and then I don't care what happens. Get rid of Reich and Ballard, and I don't care what happens.
So Frank Reich's seat's getting hotter, I think.
But how is it not hard? How is it not on 5,000 degrees? It should have been. He should have melted by now. Like we every week, I feel like we're gonna still say he's just getting a little hotter, a little hotter, a little hotter. Dog, it's been hot for 5 years.
If we lose to the Broncos, I think it's gonna be pretty hot. And going 1-3-1 with, I mean, we have Pro Bowler after Pro Bowler on this team. Something ain't hidden. Yeah, and you got to look at the top of the food chain, like you said. It's Frank Reich. I mean, we're having play calling, decisions that I don't think are great. Something's not right, and it's going to start with him. But do we? I think we'll have a chance to get a quarterback this year, even if we get a mid-round pick. I think there's some good quarterbacks still left. Will Levis has flown up. His stock has flown up. And I've heard some people say he might even go number 1.
Oh, wow.
Because they think he's the next Josh Allen. I don't know. Oof. Well, it's too early to talk about that right now, but we do have a number of quarterbacks who are available, who the Colts should try to swing at for the future. But I'm going to hope and pray that we can turn it around on a short week against the Broncos on Thursday night.
I hope so, too. I'm just a little scared because their defense is not – it's a little better than our defense. So,
well, their head coach is a little more worse than our coach. So, I don't know. I think we have a chance. Broncos haven't looked that sharp this year. Even Russell Wilson hasn't looked amazing like he used to be. But – it's time to panic, Colts Nation. It's not looking great. I don't know what to do from here, but we'll see. We'll see, right?
Yeah, we will see.
My goodness.
Good luck to all of us, man. I just want to see what's going to happen over on Thursday. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, short week. Look, it's fun. I want to see the Colts do well, but it's also not fun to see the Colts perform like this. So
Yeah.
look, that's going to be it for us, everybody. I want to thank everyone for tuning into the Colts Cast today. We release episodes bi-weekly. Go ahead and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any platform you use to listen to podcasts. We're also on YouTube now.
Oh, yeah.
Video casts will be posted on there. And we'll be back probably Wednesday to give you a little pregame show on the Broncos. Y'all take care.
Take care.